Coming up next on Hooten's Arkansas Football. Highlights from the first week of the high school season, including defending state champions, Little Rock Central, and Central Arkansas Christian. Plus a recap of Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week and updated top 25 rankings. That's all next, and it's all on Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Now, Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Hello and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas Football. The 2005 high school season is underway, and we're glad you've tuned in for 30 minutes of hard-hitting action. From the first week of the high school football season, Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week. We had 2 games on Monday night at War Memorial Stadium, a couple of more at Russellville at Arkansas Tech on Tuesday, and then right here on Thursday night, 2 games played at the University of Central Arkansas. We'll show you highlights of those games and many more, including last night's action. And we're going to begin with highlights of the rematch of last year's 5A title game, West Memphis and Little Rock Central. And our Class 5A highlights are brought to you by First Security Bank.
Not only had Little Rock Central beaten West Memphis the last 2 years in the state title game, they've also handled the Blue Devils in the season opener for 4 consecutive years. And last night, the Tigers roar early. Kevin Nichols, a transfer from McClellan, finds Carlos Collier deep for the touchdown. Central is up 7-zip, but the Blue Devils would storm back. It's 7-7 in the second quarter when Darnell Williams gets his second touchdown of the night. That made it 14-7 West Memphis. A few minutes later, it's more of Williams and more of West Memphis. This time, Williams hauls in the catch, and Central's defense is nowhere as stout as it was a year ago. The Blue Devils finally up in the Tigers. Final score, West Memphis 27, Central 10. Talented North Little Rock visiting Jacksonville on Friday, and didn't we say talented? That's DeMarcus Ingram building the punt. He's off to the races, 50 yards for the touchdown, and North Little Rock was up 7-0 without their offense even stepping on the field. Jacksonville was playing without their starting quarterback, Daniel Hubbard. He was out with an appendix problem, but that's no problem for backup Cameron Hood. He finds Marcus Hildreth, and look at Hildreth scoot all the way to the 1-yard line, but the Red Devils would come up short all night. Final score, North Little Rock 43, Jacksonville 12. North Pulaski knocked off Little Rock Hall last season. This year we expect Hall to have their best season in a decade, and they weren't messing around with North Pulaski last night. Anthony Robinson would field the punt and then go 43 yards to the house for a touchdown, and the improved Warriors win big. Final score, Hall 44, North Pulaski 0. In Shreveport on Saturday, Springdale made Louisiana's best team look like chopped liver for a second consecutive season. The Bulldogs beat Shreveport Evangel early and often. Razorback recruit Mitch Mustaine throws the perfect pass to Florida recruit Damian Williams. That would set up Springdale's second touchdown. Matt Klingscale's 5-yard run made it 14-0 in the first quarter. And then, just before halftime, Springdale would drive again, this time Mustaine doing much of the work on the ground and scoring to make it 21-0 at the break. Evangel, the defending Louisiana State champs, escaped a shutout with a touchdown on the final play of the game. Final score, Springdale 35, Shreveport Evangel 7. And here are the Hootens Arkansas Football Class 5A rankings. Springdale at number 1. Northside impressive at number 2. As predicted, the Grizzlies and their quarterback Cody Burns left Pine Bluff breathless all night. West Memphis finally gets its W over Little Rock Central. North Little Rock rolled, and Fayetteville moves into the top 5 with their blowout victory over Little Rock Catholic. Russellville drops to number 6. Benton hangs at 7. There's Central. Southside beat El Dorado 10-0, and Little Rock Catholic drops to number 10. There's El Dorado starting the second 10, followed by Sylvan Hills, Jacksonville. Jonesboro beat Camden Fairview on Friday night. Conway moves up to number 16, followed by Van Buren. Rogers with a big victory over Muskogee, Oklahoma is number 18. Then it's Cabot and Texarkana. Bryant could struggle this season. The Hornets are followed by Bentonville, Lake Hamilton, Little Rock McClellan, and the Forest City Mustangs. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas Football Class 4A highlights are next.
By Sonic.
And we begin our Class 4A highlights with the Batesville Pioneers. They won it all a couple of years ago, and on Monday night, they opened the season against Class 3A Star City and the Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week at War Memorial Stadium. Batesville's defense showing out. James Walden with the fumble recovery. That would set up Batesville's first touchdown. 12 plays later and 77 yards later, Jeremy Thrasher puts the Pioneers up 7-0. In the second quarter, Batesville will strike again. Junior quarterback Cody Aycock finding Evan Erie. That made it 14-0 Batesville. Just a few minutes later, it's Aycock again, this time finding Addison Rayford. That's a 12-yard touchdown, and Batesville is up 21-0 at halftime. First drive of the third quarter, guess who? It's Thrasher again from 18 yards out. The route was on. Batesville held Star City to 90 yards offense and just 5 first downs. And the Pioneers are playing like a team capable of winning the state title again. Final score, Batesville 36, Star City 0.
Our offensive line did a great job. Defense, we have 8 returning stars on defense, and D did excellent. Offense was, like I said, the blocking was unbelievable. Anybody could run through those holes.
From War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock on Monday to Arkansas Tech on Tuesday at Burkle Field in Russellville. That's where upstart Morrilton battled rival Russellville in the second night of the Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week, and the Devil Dogs from Morrilton were ready for showtime. Late in the first quarter, junior quarterback Kyle Russell, 33-yard strike to touchdown Tyler Stovall. That put Morrilton up 7-0. The Cyclones would blow right back, though, on their next possession. Russell goes 69 yards in just 6 plays. Quarterback Eli Craner, he hits Derek Owens in the end zone. That made it 7-7. Morrilton trying to make it a shootout, and Russell doing it with his arms and legs. A 20-yard run on the first play after Russell will score. Then a good pass. Number 39, that's Jeffrey Zern. And another toss by Russell. He had 321 all-purpose yards. This one to Josh Tresvant. And just a little bit later, it's Morrilton's Lance Clinkscale capping this drive with a score. Morrilton goes up 13-7. Now fast forward to the fourth quarter. Morrilton is up 25-10, and Russell still doing damage for Morrilton. This time he hits Kyle Zern for a 17-yard score. That put Morrilton up on Russellville 32-10. Russellville would add a late score, but it was far from enough as Morrilton rolled up 470 yards offense, and the talented Devil Dogs may be ready to challenge for the 4A West title. Final score, Morrilton 32, Russellville 17.
We got a lot of playmakers. You've seen that tonight. 5 different touchdowns by 5 different people. Just, you get it in their hands in the flats and they can take it 100.
It is big. You know, we've been looking for a win over a quality opponent. And, you know, Russellville's definitely a quality opponent, and to get that win is big for our program, and hopefully that'll, you know, springboard us into bigger things.
On Thursday night, the final night of Hootens.com Kickoff Classic Week, Greenbrier battled BB in front of more than 6,000 fans at UCA in Conway, and the monster crowd was treated to another thriller. BB starts strong with quarterback Jared Mathis making his first start, guiding BB down the field and going up 6-0 on this 2-yard run. Greenbrier's veteran quarterback certainly wasn't fazed by the rookie Nick Maxfield. He's a 3-year starter for Greenbrier, and he guides his team to back-to-back scoring drives. His 5-yard touchdown actually put Greenbrier up 14-12, and then with just a minute left before halftime, Ethan Mann gets loose for Greenbrier, romping 22 yards to put the Panthers up 20-12 at the break. In the second half, BB answers on this 18-yard pass from Mathis to Ryan Long. That cut Greenbrier's lead to 2 heading into the fourth quarter. What a fantastic finish. Maxfield extends Greenbrier's lead with this 9-yard run, but a missed extra point kept BB within 8. And 8 points is exactly what BB would get when Mathis hits Jacob Money with this 53-yard touchdown. It was Mathis's 3rd TD of the night, and then he would find Nathan Lamb for the 2-point conversion. Wow, it's 26-26 midway through the fourth quarter. BB has old Mo on its side now, and then on defense, it's Mathis tipping the pass for BB. Linebacker Sean Robertson has the Oski, and the Badgers smell blood. 7 plays later, it's Mathis. He throws his 4th touchdown pass of the night. Jacob Burns' catch completes the rally, and BB breaks Greenbrier's heart in the fourth quarter for the second consecutive season. Final score, BB 32, Greenbrier 26.
We've had this rally. It's been decided in the past few minutes, the past few years, and we really wanted to beat them this year because they had to give up the trophy last year.
Top-ranked Greenwood traveled to Class 3A Shiloh Christian for its opener, and Shiloh started fast. Matt Simpson's 6-yard touchdown pass to Crosby Tuck put Shiloh up 14-0. But Greenwood would storm back. Daniel Segal throws 45 yards to Nathan Staten. That would set up Segal's first touchdown, a 1-yard run that made it 14-7. A little bit later, Segal would find Jared Morris. That cut Shiloh's lead to 14-13 at halftime. This was a great ball game, close to 1,100 yards offense. Simpson played great for Shiloh, and Sonic Super Team quarterback Segal was the star for Greenwood, and the top-ranked Bulldogs just survived a scare from smaller Shiloh. Final score, Greenwood 45, Shiloh Christian 42. Here's the updated Class 4A rankings from Hooten's Arkansas football. Greenwood stays on top despite barely surviving a scare at Shiloh Christian. Alma has won 4 in a row over Crawford County rival Van Buren now, and the Win Yellow Jackets rode up more than 500 yards rushing against Searcy. Pulaski Robinson starts the second 5, and then it's Morrilton. The talented Devil Dogs will travel to Little Rock for a showdown with Pulaski Academy next week. The Hope Bobcats are back in the top 10 after an impressive win at Nashville. Monticello starts the second 10, followed by Hot Springs Lakeside. The Rams beat Whitehall by 2 points on Friday, and Lakeside has won its past 5 games. Blytheville is number 16, then it's the Mills Comets. They earned their second straight win over Class 5A Parkview on Friday. Valonia is very young on offense. There's Harrison and Beebe. The Badgers can score tons of points, but they'll need to add some teeth to their defense if they are to make a push at the playoffs. Oak Grove's 21, followed by Fair and Whitehall. The Bulldogs get a shot at Class 5A Watson Chapel next week. Paragould tied rival Greene County 30-30 on Friday, and Greenbrier rounds out the top 25. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 3A highlights are straight ahead.
Arkansas football, brought to you by Big Red Fina.
People get to know about Dardanelle football. It's not that little old school tucked away in Yale County. You guys go out and compete for 4 quarters with everything you have. We will have success tonight.
That's Dardanelle coach Paul Wilson getting his Sand Lizards ready for their annual battle with the Danville Littlejohns. Big crowd on hand at Arkansas Tech, and coming into this game, Dardanelle had won 7 of the past 8 matchups, including 22-0 a year ago. But the Danville Littlejohns were prepared this time. At the second quarter, junior quarterback Chase Peak, 13-yard touchdown pass to Ryan Davis, and that put Danville up 6-0. On Danville's next drive, Peak, another completion. This one to Anthony Chronister for 26 yards. And 5 plays later, Danville, C.J. Davis, a 3-yard touchdown run. That put the Littlejohns up 12-0. And on their first drive of the second half, Danville still rolling. L.J. Gilbert bust loose for a 64-yard run, and the Littlejohns were up 19-0 on the bigger school, Dardanelle. But the Sand Lizards would finally get it going. A 5-play drive and a short touchdown run. That made it 19-7. But Danville would answer another long drive, another score. This time it's Peak hooking up with T.J. May. 10-yard touchdown pass. It looked like it might be over. Danville up 25-7. But Dardanelle would score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but come up just short. And the Littlejohns hold on to beat Dardanelle for only the second time in 9 years. Final score, Danville Littlejohns 32, Class 3A Dardanelle 29.
You be thankful, you hear me? There's a lot of kids that would love to be doing what you're doing. If something happens, great. Don't sit there and try to be all yourself. You know who it belongs to. You understand it? We give all the praise and glory. I don't care what happens after the game, we know who this belongs to. All right, let's bow our heads.
That's Bologna Eagle coach Jim Stanley getting his team ready for the defending Class 3A champions, Central Arkansas Christian Mustangs. and it was the Mustangs picking up where they finished last year with a talented quarterback running for a touchdown. This year, it's a sophomore, Drew Stringfellow, doing his best Jesse Gates impersonation. 31 yards around the end for the touchdown. CAC was up early. In the second quarter, Bologna would manage to stay close thanks to this bad snap. It sails over Stringfellow's head, and it's recovered by Brody Seymour at the 4-yard line. Next play, Bologna's Kyle Smith scores. That would pull Bologna within 7-6. A little bit later in the third quarter now, Bologna actually ahead 14-7, but that's when CAC hit stride. Senior Trent Morgan, 30 yards for the touchdown. That would pull CAC within 14-13, and then in the fourth quarter, CAC would dominate with 3 straight touchdowns and cruise to another win. Final score, CAC Mustangs 32, Class 4A Bologna 22.
So opening up here at Hoots Kickoff Classic and playing in this environment, great. We're very honored, but our players last year, felt like that we didn't represent our school the way we wanted to.
This is definitely a great way to start the season, beating Bologna in a Hooten's Classic game, first game of the season. But after this, we still got a lot of work to do.
The Sylvan Hills Bears from Class 5A looking for a second straight win over Class 3A Newport. The Bears won this one last year, and they're already up 7-0 in the first quarter when T.J. Shelton hits Robert McKinney, and the big tight end won't go down until he finds the end zone. The Bears are up 14-0. Newport still has some talent, and the Greyhounds show their bite. Quentin Alcorn getting loose all the way to the 1-yard line. He would score on the next play, but Sylvan Hills dominated the second half and just outmanned the Greyhounds. Final score, Sylvan Hills 35, Newport 12. And here is Hooten's Arkansas football updated Class 3A rankings. Boonville stays on top. The Bearcats have won 14 of their past 15 games. Pulaski Academy hung 38 on Harrison Friday night, and Warren moves up to number 5. The Lumberjacks scored 2 touchdowns late to beat Stuttgart. Shiloh Christian moves up a spot despite losing by 3 to Class 4A Greenwood. Atkins beat unranked Gravett, but only by 6 points. CAC moves into the top 10. The Mustangs won't miss a beat on offense this year with Trent Morgan and Drew Stringfellow. Nashville starts the second 10. The Scrappers took it on the chin at home to Hope last night. Behind the Scrappers, it's Harrisburg, Pokey, Hamburg, and Newport. Green Forest at 16. Then it's Rivercrest, Lone Oak, and Dardanelle. The Sand Lizards lost to Danville and now must face top-ranked Boonville. Mena could not score a point on Boonville. Bauxite's number 21 and set for a showdown at Fountain Lake. Fordyce has lost 5 straight to rival Rison. Mayflower jumps into the top 25 after a solid summer and an impressive win over Arkansas Baptist. Then it's Farmington and the McGee Owls moving up to number 25.
Now the ConocoPhillips Spirit Student of the Week.
Kaylee Sparks maintains close to a 4.0 GPA at Little Rock Christian, and she is one well-rounded young lady.
I'm involved in Foreign Language Club. I'm the secretary of that. I do Oxford Union, which is an intellectual club. I do varsity soccer at our school, and I'm the captain of the varsity cheerleading squad. I really focus on school when I'm in school, and I try to get everything done and work really hard to keep my grade point average. When I'm out of school, I really work hard to keep cheerleading up and to do soccer and just to make sure that I'm doing my best wherever I am.
And boys, I don't care the worst thing you can do to yourself. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to do something that you're not proud of. When you walk off that field tonight, I don't care what happens on the scoreboard. When you walk off that field tonight, if you're proud of yourself, you've done what you're supposed to do. And I promise you this, we'll be proud of you too. And we're going to kick butt if everybody does it.
Carlisle defensive coordinator Jamie Jones challenging 17 Bison before they took on Palestine Wheatley and its new coach Heath Prime Friday night. The Bison responded on their opening drive with senior quarterback Robert Morey capturing the march. 20-yard touchdown run for Carlisle. Bison 8, Palestine Wheatley 0. And the Carlisle defense also showed up early for head coach John Stewart. Jeremy Calderon and Alan Pope trapped Palestine's quarterback and forced a punt, and the Bison offense would take just one play to score on their second possession. Senior Stanley Edwards turns the corner, and he's gone. 60 yards for the Bison touchdown. Carlisle scored all the points it needed in the first quarter. Final score, Bison 22, Palestine Wheatley 6. At Hazen, the number 12 ranked Hornets play at host to rival Desart. And Hazen native and Miss Arkansas Eudora Mosby on hand to watch a beautiful performance by Des Arc's quarterback, Jason Dahl. He finds Ben Scott for a 20-yard touchdown that gave Des Arc a 20-0 lead in the second quarter. Early in the third quarter, Dahl takes off on the quarterback draw, breaking tackles and running past Hazen's Hornets. 60-yard touchdown for Des Arc, and the 14 seniors from Des Arc finally get their victory over Hazen. Final score, Des Arc 38, Hazen 0. The Harding Academy Wildcats waxed Little Rock Christian in 2004. On Tuesday night, the rematch looked like more of the same, at least early on, as Harding Academy's Kurt Adams had his way, catching 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter. This 34-yarder put the Cats up 14-0. But Little Rock Christian had its moments on defense in the first half, intercepting 3 passes, including this one in the second quarter. Dustin Campbell outraces Adams for the Oski here. And a little bit later, still in the second quarter, Christian has more defense. Dawson Kane and Ty Smith break through to sack Zach Tribble. But just before halftime, Zach is back, and he finds Adams. A 69-yard scoring play. That put Harding Academy up 25-0 at the break. Little Rock Christian played much better the second half, running the ball effectively and scoring on this 1-yard run around the end by Matt Mazzoni. And the Warriors were able to cut Harding's lead to 12 before Adams scored his 6th touchdown of the night. Taking off with the reverse handoff, finding his way 36 yards to the end zone. That made it 39-20. Christian would score late with a 15-yard touchdown pass from Mazzoni to Tyler Weddle to make the final score. Harding Academy 39, Little Rock Christian 27.
I was real pumped up about it. The first time we got picked to come in this, and it's a great way to start off your season.
Well, Kurt's a special player, and we knew that. And, of course, I didn't expect him to come out here and score every touchdown. But he's got that capability, but he's got a lot of teammates that are blocking for him and helping him out. And I'm pleased that we got the opportunity to be here. It was a really neat environment. I love playing here, and I think it was a good experience for our guys.
Top-ranked Rison made it 5 in a row over rival Fordyce Friday night. Robert Stevenson returned to punt 28 yards for the winning score, and his teammates on the defensive front stopped a pair of Fordyce scoring threats late. Rison wins 16-13. Junction City sticks at number 2 despite losing at Class 3A McGee by 13. Charleston moves up a notch after shutting out AAA Ozark 23-0. Number 4 Danville took out its AAA rival Dardanelle on Tuesday, and Jesseville drops a couple of spots after losing at Hughes 54-52. You see the second 5 with Harding Academy, East Poinsett County, and Hector all earning victories the first week of the season. Hughes starts the second 10, followed by the Des Arc Eagles. Des Arc looked sharp Friday night in its complete domination of Hazen. Gurdon and Greenland took out Class 3A Prescott and West Fork, respectively. Foreman's Gators were blown out by Redwater, Texas last year, but lost by just a touchdown Friday night to the East Texas Power. Lavaca walloped AAA Waldron 33-7, and Cross County hung with Harrisburg before losing 32-20. There are Barton and Hazen. Both looked anemic Friday night. Arkansas Baptist, Mount Ida, Gillette, Mountainburg, and Magnet Cove round out the top 25. For our State Farm Play of the Week, we take you back to UCA on Thursday night. Harding Academy's quarterback Zach Tribble tosses the screen to Kurt Adams, and Adams will do the rest on his way 70 yards for one of his 6 touchdowns in the Hootens.com Kickoff Classic. And that's...
Hey, thanks again for watching Hooten's Arkansas Football. Remember, we're going to be here every week giving you hard-hitting highlights, the latest rankings, pregame pep talks, postgame reaction, all the excitement of high school football in 2005. And we look forward to seeing you again next week right here on Hooten's Arkansas Football.
You've been watching Arkansas's most watched sports show, Hooten's Arkansas Football.